Hey, season's greetings to all patrons and supporters of Fit FM 96.7, broadcasting from Stuart Castle in the parish of Trelawney. I am your host, Pastor Chidil Smode, host of Rebirth, where redemption eventually brings into reality total healing. And I want to wish you all the best for this Christmas festive season and even a more prosperous new year in 2022. Continue to make it Fit FM. Your life, your music.
The holidays are here again. Healing Moments want to wish you an awesome holiday, a well holiday. Remember now, temperance is the name of the game. But have fun. So, Dr. Asha Mwendo from Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, Your Life, Your Music, brought to you by Wellness in Motion, is saying to you, enjoy your holidays. Be good to yourself. Remember, nothing is wrong in taking care of self. So have fun and see you at the end of the holidays.
Fit FM is owned and operated by Communistation Company Limited, located in Stuart Castle, Duncan's Trelawney, Jamaica. We broadcast on FM 96.7 locally and is heard worldwide on fitfmja.com. Our mission is to amplify diverse voices and opinions, inform, educate, entertain, and engage listeners of all ages and lifestyle while promoting responsible community development. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
The killer drop beat.
Good evening, my people. How are you this evening? Well, I have been away from you for a while, haven't I? But I'm quite sure you enjoy those repeats that we have given you. And we have an awesome program lined up for you this evening. So you know, it's your girl, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. We are here with a good program lined up for you this evening. This evening's program is brought to you by Wellness in Motion. And guess what? You know already that Healing Moments joined the call for elimination of violence against our women and our girls. And we have an awesome guest lineup for you this evening. Her name is Viola Moswear. And you will hear all about the conversation she had with her auntie. But you know the drill already. Before we get to that, you're going to get your pen, get your sip, tell a friend, listen to this bit of music, and then come right back with us.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. Loved by you. Oh, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, Oh, I needed the shelter, someone's arms. There you were. Oh, yeah. Needed someone to help me through my ups and downs. There you were. Oh, with sweet love and devotion, deeply touching my emotion. I just have to stop and thank my Jesus. I just have to stop and thank my Jesus. Oh, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, it's sweet, sweeter than honey to be young. How sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, yeah. Oh, I close my eyes at night, wondering where would I be without you in my life. Everything I did, such a boy. Everywhere that I went, I felt I've been there before. You brightened up for me all of my days with a love so sweet, so many ways. I have to stop. Thank my Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I just have to stop and thank my Jesus. Oh, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, it's sweet. Loved by you. Hey, how sweet it is to be loved by you. Oh, it's sweeter than honey on the coal. So sweet.
Yes. Welcome back. You know, it is sweet to be loved by God all the time, every time. So, as we go into our Let's Talk segment this evening, I want to start off already by reminding you about Dave Gale and his charity program that he's doing for those family members down in Westmoreland. Can I tell you, I'm excited that I see material start to drop on the ground. They still need your support in order to achieve the goal that they have of fixing up this lovely house for these persons. Remember now, these are the blind woman and her daughters that are down there in Westmoreland that need our support. And so let's continue to join with Dave Gale. The CD is out. It is Judgment. It really sings very well. I have 2 copies. So I'm really trying to support, and I want you to do that. Part of my supporting is reminding you every week, please support them. He has the CDs out. It's $1,000. And if you want your copy, you can reach out to me or just find Dave on all social media platforms at Dave Gale. You can't miss it. It's his name, Dave Gale. So go out and support. And of course, I want to remind you that in St. Anne, if I tell you, every Wednesday we have our every Thursday. I'm sorry. We have a farmers market on Thursdays. Please go out and support this week. The flyer, I love the flyer that is out this week. If you go check out my Facebook page, you will see it. And talking about the winter farmers market, winter in Jamaica. Come on now. Go out tomorrow and see what's happening. I will be there. So you can come and check me at my booth for us to talk wellness. That's what we will talk. I'll support you in your wellness journey. And there's so much things there. Things that are unusual, things I'm seeing for the first time. I'm being opening to practices like how to use crystals and spiritual reading and all of these things. And they have the wellness corner. So come out and support us next week, Thursday. If you want more information, you can contact Jennifer at 876-853-4455. As the Let's Talk continue, I have a gross man. A long time ago, I kept on saying that Jamaica would smell a little better if we can get our dogs to stop urinating all over the place, and if we could get our men to stop doing the same thing too. And I have noticed a lot of men, and come on, men, let's be fair, you're going to say, oh, I really needed to go now, and so I just lean up on people's wall and all of these things. What if women were to be doing the same thing when we need to go right now, if we're going to be leaning up on walls and all of that? This morning, I stayed in my bedroom and I saw a gentleman on the road, and then he looked, my gate is locked, and so he went into my neighbor's yard, walked into my neighbor's yard, go to the fence, and where the fence line between both of us, my neighbor and I, are, the man just pull out him things there and they look around to see if anybody's seeing him and just urinate right there at the fence line. And I laugh to myself, because I'm saying he's looking to see if anybody is seeing him. And I have seen him. And I made sure I waited until he was almost finished. And then I opened my window a little wider and he realized I'm seeing him. And then I said, he's going to walk around smelling a little funny for the rest of the day. Because when he realized I'm watching him, he don't even shake it off. He just push the teen back. And then his hand, and I'm saying, and they're going to see you on the street, I want to touch you. Come on, men, let's do better than that. 2021 is coming to an end. Let that bad habit of just urinating everywhere and anywhere be a thing of the past. The same thing you would expect of a woman, please do it too. And treat every wall you lean up on like it's your own wall. The other thing I want to wonder, why we have a habit of leaning on people's wall and we have to put up our foot. I know on people's vehicle, and so why you have to put up your foot, stand on your own 2 feet. Even if you were to lean on the wall, it's better not too bad. But ever see anybody putting up their foot on people's wall? Come on, man. Civic pride should tell you that that cannot be a thing. And if you wouldn't want anybody to do that to your space, don't do it to other people's space. The other thing I want to talk about in our Let's Talk feature is staying safe in this time. And safe in a number of ways. We want to stay safe from COVID, and we know all of that. And I'm going to dwell on COVID for this evening. I'm talking about our own safety and security. So I'm putting on my neighborhood watch hat for a little bit. And I'm saying to you, in our communities, open your eyes. Pay attention to what is happening around you. Look at the people that are in your space. And make sure you know who is in your space. When evening is coming, lock up your place properly as safely as you can. Listen to me. You and I know that it's hard sometimes to really get away from the thieves. But do everything in your power to make yourself safe. Before you start your safety plan, pray. During your safety plan, pray. And as you initiate your safety plan, pray. Prayer moves mountain, but it's called to action. So don't go to God and pray for safety if you are not willing to do the footwork. So you have to do what you're doing. Keep your focus on what is happening around you, right? And so I also want in our Let's Talk feature to tell you Healing Moments will be here with you next year as well. We're going to be on. We're going to do new things. We have a lovely lineup of guests already for our new year, and we have features that we're going to be bringing to you from time to time. Healing Moments is also open for your suggestions. So if there's something you want to hear us talk about along holistic wellness, so mind, body, and brawn, as I would say, everything, contact us. Send your questions, send your requests in that we can answer your questions in the new year. We can provide for you. And I want to say to you, we'll be having a new feature every second Tuesday coming up in the new year. So every second Tuesday, we'll have a program called A Woman's Prerogative. So that is going to be on Healing Moments every second Tuesday. That's what we're going to do. Every second Wednesday. Sorry, why do I keep on saying Tuesdays? Something coming in Tuesdays, I don't know. But thank you, Julia. Every second Wednesday, we're going to be talking about a woman's prerogative. Oh, I know why I'm saying Tuesdays. I am apologizing to you now. On Tuesdays, it will be on Facebook on the Daughters of Sheba platform. Any topic we talk about on the Tuesday is a topic we'll be talking about on the Wednesday, and my partners will be persons from the Daughters of Sheba Foundation. The Daughters of Sheba Foundation is a foundation that looks out for the well-being of women. And so therefore, that is one of the features we're going to be having on Healing Moments in the new year. And once per quarter, once every 3 months, we'll also be talking about our Lantern in the Window program. So there's going to be a feature on Lantern in the Window that will focus mainly as well on dealing with persons who are victims of the gender-based violence, domestic violence, not only women, but anyone who is affected or impacted by it, including our children. And we'll be looking at solutions, how we heal from these experiences, and how we prevent it, and how we help persons who are not only victims but also help the perpetrators in coming away from this position and to heal as we go forward. Because unless we have healing, we're going to continue having the problem, right? So those who are doing it need to be healed, and those who are affected by it needs to be healed, or else they're going to continue doing with others, right? So we want to break the cycle in our generation going forward on violence in all its forms, right? And so Wellness in Motion continues with its holistic wellness guide as well. And so therefore we are here to support you in whatever you want to do. And as you plan to fly into the new year with awesomeness and wonderful, if you want us to guide you, you can contact me for my second copy of my book, Author of Glow, Anchor and Grow Visioning Guidebook and Visioning Board, that I do use this year with my clients, and you can contact me for one as well. Right. And so, and you, as you know, I am your inspirational speaker, your motivational guide, and I am your holistic wellness guide. I'm a naturopathic specialist, and I'm here to help you. Whatever illness you face in this life is on you for 3 reasons and 3 reasons only. That's what I believe. That so if you get sick, it is either because you are breaking the laws of God, you're breaking the laws of health, or simply for the glory of God. Whichever one it is, if you follow the guidelines of God and it is within his will and you do your part, together we can take you to wellness. You can reverse any illness you are facing. And so that's what we are here to help you to do, to be well, get well, and stay well as you transform and transition into 2022. And I want to remind you that it doesn't matter where you are right this minute. For the next minute, if you make that choice, that decision, that you are holding on to wellness and a positive vibes, transitioning your life, you don't have to wait until January 1 to start that change. You can start it right now, right? So we're going to go into our guests. So just before my guests come on, we're going to give you a little bit more music, and then you will meet my guests. Love, sweet think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart, just do it. You see it's getting late, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, just do it. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you, and me, and just wait and see, for you and you, just wait and see, another day goes by, still the children crying, put a little love in your heart, sweet love. We want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, we want to know it in the world. Welcome back to Healing Moments. Just before I bring my guest on, I want to say, Miss Paula Smith, I see your question. So I'm going to say to you, reach out to me on 876-870-2284 or WhatsApp me on at the studio here on 876-478-9144 or 876-317-1991. So if you are listening to me just like Miss Paula and you have a wellness question, you can reach out to me and we can deal with it. And guess what? It's beauty of it is that you reach out to me on Healing Moments. So as we transition and journey with you, we can share the bits and pieces of you give us permission to share on Healing Moments, and you can come on and talk about how we have been able to support you in your wellness journey. So the number again, Miss Smith, is 876-870-2284. Remember now, you or anyone else that is listening, or 876-478-9144 or 876-317-1991. At the end of the program, I will also give you my email address. I will not keep my guests waiting any longer. So I am going to transition now to my wonderful guest this evening. Good evening, Miss Valomia Mossware. How are you?
Well, thank you. I hope you hear me quite clearly.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes. How
Are
are
you
you?
are you hearing me?
Yeah, you're low. Can you get any louder?
Oh, let me see. Okay, I hope that's better.
Awesome. That is awesome. So my guest this evening, yes, is Miss Mossware. She's a niece of Violet Moss Brown, Miss Violet from Trelawney. Here she was once the oldest woman in Jamaica and in the world. And so this evening I'll be having this conversation with Miss Moss. I'm so excited. But I'm not going to tell you much about her. And before we get into the conversation, I'm going to give Miss Valomia a little chance to tell us who is Valomia.
Oh, well, no, me is a little. Was once a little girl from Johnville who lived in Bourne, and I grew up in Johnville, Trelawney. It's about 5 miles from Clarkstone, about 4 from Sherwood, 9 miles
Your
from.
computer.
Pardon me.
Get a little closer to your computer. Yeah, that's better. Yes, keep it like that.
All right. So I'm saying I am from a little district in Trelawney called Johnville. It's 5 miles from Clarkstown, about 4 from Sherwood, and 9 from Falmouth in northern Trelawney. And my upbringing was humble. I was a precocious little girl. I like to ask questions. I was a little shy. I remember playing a lot with my cousins and nephews, and my mother's name was
Mm-hmm.
Gertie Moss, and my father William Purcell Moss. And she was a homemaker. My mother was a homemaker, dressmaker. My father was a farmer.
Okay.
And right.
Okay. Miss Moss, just a moment. Just a moment. You are going in and out. So can you come a little closer to your computer that we can hear you clearly all the time?
Oh, you're not hearing me.
You keep going in and out. So stay close to that computer screen. Bring it up a little more to you if possible. Keep it straight. And then let's see if we hear you a little better. Okay,
Is
we love
that
that.
good? Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
All right. So I hope you heard what I said in the
Yes, we
beginning.
heard so far. Yes.
All right. So yes, I'm saying my mother Gertie Moss and father William Purcell Moss. My mother was a dressmaker for many persons in the community too. And right. So I I also lived with my sister in Yorkton, and maybe that's where the writing started with me. And I grew up in a Christian household and with moral standing. My parents were very much involved in the church. My mother in the Pleasantville Methodist Church, and my father, who is Aunt V's brother, William, was also very instrumental in the Baptist Church, where his mom was a foundation member. So I am an educator. I am a mother of two wonderful young ladies, and I'm an author, as
Yeah.
you very well said. So that's a little bit about me. I'm now living in Canada, and that's my new home where I'm still teaching
Okay.
and inspiring students.
Beautiful, beautiful. So that now, friends, give you a little mouthful of who Miss Moss is, right?
Mhm.
And so she penned this wonderful book about her auntie. So we're going to transition conversation a little bit into who her auntie was and why we were even talking about her auntie at this time. So tell us a little bit about who your aunt was, and so what is her claim to fame, as they would say?
I don't know what it came to say, but Aunt V was very. what would I say now? She was someone who, when you went there, you didn't know what was the next thing that was coming, because she um she was full of life,
Mm-hmm.
and she kept you engaged with so many of her stories. She herself was an institution, and we would always hear all of the stories. She would recite for us. She would play the organ for us. She was a disciplinarian. When we went there, she was an ardent church member. She was in the Baptist church. She was there for over 100 years, and she assumed many roles in the church. I probably can't remember as many, but
Yes.
you name it, she did it. Organist to federation, whatever the group is, she was in that group. And chorister, um, she was so many things. And then for hospitality, she was always welcoming pastors from the Baptist church, as well as persons who came to the district for um, crusades. Her house was where they stayed, and she would treat them very well
Mm-hmm.
um, right there. So Anvi was somebody who was very engaging, very fun loving. There was never a dull moment around Anvi. Once you go there, you would have to end up laughing. Very vibrant, person. Very spontaneous too.
That is true. I met her once, and her vastness of knowledge and the way that she remembers things
Mm-hmm.
really was amazing when I met and sat and listened to her speaking.
Right.
And so I want to ask you, where did the idea come from to write the story? Where did the story idea come from?
Okay. So there are four siblings.
Yeah.
Um, Christabel, Violet, she's the second one, by the way, and Uncle Les, who we know as Wellesley, he was the first one, and my father is the last one, William. And so I realized I was at college and I got an assignment about the barter system.
Mm,
And Uncle Les was somebody who was well read, and he was always reading up on economics and stuff
mhm,
like that. But I went by his house and I sat down on the veranda and we were talking about the assignment.
mhm.
And he was my primary source of information for the entire assignment, and I got an A for it.
Oh,
And yeah, so I from then I realized that the mental acuity among these siblings, was as sharp as a razor. I
mhm,
I asked my father some questions too, because I don't know where this memory come from. It's like it's a gift, and
mhm,
so he would tell me things about my both my maternal grandmother and his side, you know. But I didn't get to interview him, and he passed. And then I said no, and he's still around, and
yes.
I can't afford to allow this all this information to slip me. And when I think about, as I said, the cemetery is a place that is rich with information. Persons there with it, you can't get it back from them once they are gone. So I said,
Mm,
I have to get this information from Aunt V, because she is still very, very sharp, in terms of her memory. And so that's what I did. I have been talking to Aunt V. I have been talking to her for years, because I live next door. So her house was like my old stomping ground. So I have been going there for years, from my eyes were at my knees. So these conversations, some of them were from way back. But then I asked more pointed questions now from
mhm.
her before she passed. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I have not read the book in its entirety yet. I've seen some snippets of it,
Hmm.
but we're going to talk a little bit about it because what I like about the title of the book is simply conversations with my auntie. You just conversation with Aunt Vala, and or Aunt V as everybody call her, or Miss V as we everybody calls her. So that was an interest for me, and I have spend some time hearing about movie from different people, different perspectives of how people see her, and people who knew her. I remember even at the parish council, when you were talking about that book they found that she had with a record of all the people that were buried in the cemetery, and she could tell you in things about it was amazing and it was exciting. And we're saying we need to preserve these things. And it is good that you took the time out now to write, because we have lost so much of our history by not documenting and writing things. So now you were able to get the information directly from her that you are now sharing with the world. So, how long did it really take you to write this book?
Well, it took me about 2 years, to be exact. Like I said, I was gathering information over time, but it took me roughly 2 years to do it. I was working in a First Nations community here in Canada. These are where like native Indians live. And so in this community they never had many of the amenities that the cities have.
Mhm.
So it gave me more time because I didn't have much to do there. So I listened to the tapes that I got from her, and I
Mhm.
was able to listen and go them over and put into writing, and made my notes. But then in 2018 to 19, that was what I did, and in 2020 I put
Mhm.
the final touches to it, and and get it ready. And I waited a while, and then I decided to go straight ahead to get it published this year. So it took me roughly 2 years to
So it took you roughly 2 years to complete the book,
complete it. Yeah.
right? And you did that in record time, I would say. And then you were able to use recordings that you have with her, memories of what you spoke with her about, to
Right.
compile this book. When you were doing the book, when you were actually doing the book, how did it make you feel? What kind of emotions did you express? How did it, or did it make you feel to be documenting, writing her story, some of which you are writing after she's no longer on the scene of life? How did it make you feel?
Well, it was like a mixed reaction, mixed feeling, bittersweet.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very happy to do it, and I felt very proud as a niece to take it on. Um, Writing some of it was, some parts were very hilarious,
Yes.
and some parts when you reflect it made you a little sad because she's no longer here. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, some of it I could not even put in the book because Aunt V, I know Aunt V in a certain way that suffers and so on. And so some things will remain with me, and yeah, I couldn't put those in there, but I go over the tapes even now, and
Mm-hmm.
I listen to her, and I am in stitches, just listening to her. So it's not in a sad way, no, but I'm very happy that I'm preserving her legacy, and
Mm-hmm.
it is good for us to, apart from you know persons out there in the world who will purchase the book to read. As family members, it gives us even more information too about our grandparents and great grandparents and so on, coming down the line, knowing where our background and certain things like that. So it's rich, and she was indeed a historian, and I'm very happy
Yes.
that I was able to pull some of the information from her. Yeah. So
Okay, and there's something you brought up that I want to hit on a little bit. As I told you, I don't do interviews, we do conversations, and in conversations, things will come up.
okay.
Right. So how is it received by the family on a, I know everybody might not be perfect, but on a general point, does the family look at this book?
Well, it's like for me so far, the
Hmm.
feedback that I've been getting from the family is quite good, and they're very happy and proud of what I've done.
Yes.
And they've actually been getting their copies and reading, and other persons have been commending, and they're feeling very good about it. So
Beautiful.
If there are any that I don't know of with negative views, that much I can't say. I don't know. Most of what I've been getting are positive, right?
Beautiful.
And that to me is priceless.
Hmm.
Um, constructive criticisms I will take, but if it's
Yes.
anything that is negative and doesn't really bother me, it's like water running off a duck's back, and I guess what is said outside of my hearing, I don't let that be a problem to
Very good. I like that approach because I'm kind of like that myself.
me.
So it to me is a pride for the family. I think the family should be proud. But for me, I am not originally from Trelawney, but
Mhm.
I still feel a sense of pride in the fact that I live in this parish and on V was here, and then you have taken it to the next level to document information, conversations from her, and to document her memory and to document history.
Mhm.
Because that's what part of what it is, part of our history. And so many of our history is continually being lost. And
Mhm.
for you to gather this, but you do say you did not put everything into this book. Is that that we might get a second copy?
No, it
Okay.
we had a way of coining words and
Yes.
saying certain things, and I preferred not to put some of those things in there. It probably would have impacted other persons who are still around, um,
Yes.
in terms of some of the maybe the content.
Okay.
So and yeah, so I chose not to. But when I listen to it, I find it very amusing, and that I will keep with me until I leave here.
Okay. So at this time now, before we go to a little music break, I want you to give us read some little parts of give us some nuggets, some snippets of what is in the book.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me grab my book here,
Yes.
and I will just give you just a little part
Yes.
of it. Let me see what section should I choose for you now. Okay, let me. I'm trying to find something because I. All right, so
Hmm.
hmm, Violet and siblings Wellesley, Christabel, and William played simple games such as lick and run, which we now call tag. And we remembered one day she and Wellesley had a little fuss, and he hit her, and she started to cry. She went inside the house and her mother asked her what was wrong, and she reported that her brother had hit her. And the mother called them both and told them, stand in front of me. And she said, repeat after me.
Hmm.
Let dogs delight to bark and bite, for 'tis their nature too. Let bears and lions growl and fight, for 'tis their nature too. Then turning to them, she said, but children, you should never let such angry passion rise. Your little hands were never made to tear each other's eyes. And then she placed them in a corner before sending them back outside to play with a warning not to hit anymore. So that is a little part of it, and the next part goes on to talk about growing up with proverbs such as a wink at the old horse is better than the whip, and show me your company tells who you are. So
Yeah, that one about a wink at a horse is. Tell me what do you get from that? Let me
a
see if
wink at the
here.
old horse, a wink at the old horse is better than the whip. Well,
Mhm.
another one that you could say is similar to this is fowl can hear in your palm, right?
Me not
So
tell me that one day again.
fowl can hear in your palm, right? You ever hear the
First
one
we
about
hear that one.
you hear that one? Well, I grew up around old people, including Aunt G, so we heard quite
Mhm.
a lot of these proverbs that kept us in line. We never necessarily got a lot of beatings, but
Mhm.
they're smart enough and you listen to these proverbs and you know exactly what to do. I guess you probably hear this one about picking Mary Hart and yeah,
Yes, we know that one day.
it probably would be similar to this one.
Hmm.
So, mhm. So take the cues when you can get them. I mean, if you know that they're telling you these things that you better try and straighten up, or if you can't hear them, you're definitely going to feel the hand.
Yes.
So yeah, a wink at the old horse is better than the whip. So take the
Like
hint. You know?
that. I really like that one. A wink at the horses better than a whip because I'm
Yeah.
getting a lot of messages from this one.
Mm.
Because first, I'm just thinking of it. No, it is saying to you, it is easier to get somebody to move with love than to beat them because you're going to lose it. I think this is also similar to you can't catch ants with vinegar, you catch them with honey. I,
Okay.
that sounds to me like it could be similar as well. But I'm hearing this one for the very first
Yeah.
time,
Mm.
and I thought I knew them all.
Okay. Then speak to me in camera to hear some more of those.
Yes, 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 yes. We need to hear some more of those. So we're going to give you a little break, and while you're on the break, see if you can sort. We want to hear you a little clearer. Not hear you clearly sometimes. So get the
Oh,
computer a little closer to you. So we're going to go for a little break, play a little music, and then we'll come right back. So while we're doing that, you can sort that out.
okay.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand. Put a little love in your heart. Just do it. You see it's getting late. Please don't hesitate. Put a little love in your heart. Just do it. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you, and me, and just wait and see, and you just wait and see. Another day goes by, still the children crying, alive in your heart. We want the world to know we won't let hatred grow. Alive in your heart, we want to know it, and the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place. Say for you and me, and just wait and see. Just wait and do the way. Just wait and see. There is a yellow one that won't accept the black, one that won't accept the red, one that won't accept the white one. Take a good look around. If you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. Put a little bit of love in your heart. Yeah. You decide. Can this will be your guide? In your heart, in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be.
Okay, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Remember, a little love will make the world a better place, and that's what we want right now. And as I continue, I'm your host, Dr. Asha Mwendo, and I'm coming to you live from the studios of Fit FM 96.7 on Healing Moments, Your Life, Your Music. And we have as our guest this evening, Miss Mossware, and she's telling us about the relationship and conversations she have had with her auntie. And so we'll continue. And she was just telling us one or two things that she have written the proverb, looks, wink and no wink. I like that one. I really, really do. And so she'll continue to share a little bit more about the relationship she had with her aunt, a little bit of what you can expect to hear when you collect your own book and read it. And she'll also be telling us about how we can get the book later on. So don't go. I want you to hear how you can get your own copy. And she'll tell us a little bit about her aunt's mental acuity and how what she witnessed, the lifestyle she witnessed. So, Miss Viola, welcome back to the program. How are you feeling now? Talking about your auntie.
I'm good, feeling very good to talk about her. Yeah, it brings back a lot
Right.
of memories.
Okay, so I want you to tell me what are some of the many firsts that Aunt
Oh,
Guy was able to witness.
and
A
this,
hundred years is a lot of time. So enough
okay.
things. weakness. Cause me feel like me know enough things and me not even catch this yet. So tell us a little bit about things that she would have witnessed and that she share about you and how they impacted her life at that time.
Okay, well, I there are many firsts, but I can't tell you all of them because persons have to buy the book to see some of the firsts that are there, right?
Yes.
But one of the many firsts that I can tell you about was the kerosene refrigerator. Um, it was a novelty back then,
Yes.
and she was one of the first persons to have that in the area. And we lived next door, and so at the time we got ice from her, um, especially on a Sunday when the prize carrot juice would be made with your carrot and beet and your dragon
Mhm.
fruit and with your milk and so on. So we would get the ice from next door to cool the drink. And then later on, I mean, I was kind of a little scared of it because another community member who had one, it caught fire
Yes.
and burnt down a part of her house. So it was another and we were kind of curious to see how it worked because the heat from the kerosene oil that was what
Mm.
was used to heat up the
Ah,
ammonia, right? And the water solution, then that went up to the generator, whatever it is, and caused the ice to be made. But after a while, I was when the fire with the other one in the district, I was kind of a little scared of it. But
yes.
yeah, that was one of the many firsts. And one other first that I can talk about is the first car that came to Jamaica,
Hmm.
right? So that is also in the book. They can read to see what she said about that. But that was another first. Um, so she was around for a very long time. So of course, she would witness many things,
Not a first.
two world wars and all of that. So she was around for, as you know, a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
As nearly as old as Moses. Yeah,
Once I ever hear you.
yeah.
Right. Continue.
Right. So yeah. So no, that's the only first that those are the two first that I can tell you about now. The
Hmm.
kerosene oil refrigerator and the red car, the first car that
Hmm.
came to Jamaica. So those are the two that I'm going to mention to you, and you can read
Okay.
the others in the
Okay.
book.
But I'm still gonna push you a little bit, to find out how so back in her community, we're gonna come home to community now and the changes she would have seen happening, how young people operate and all of that. Did she have anything to say about those things?
Well, I'm not. I mean, she was saying to me that they have things much easier than in her time.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of transportation, and the whole thing would have been changed by then because new developments took place. So that we really would expect. But transportation, in terms of water
Mm-hmm.
and accessibility of the water and electricity, all of those things would have changed. And she spoke about that, in terms of how the young people have that much easier now than when it was in her time because she had to use like um, bottle torches
Yeah.
to get around outside, in terms of doing the chores and couldn't remain outside for too long in the dark using that and getting water from nearby community at a like a pond or so, um, 4 miles away. I had
Mm-hmm.
to walk to get it and walk to come back home and then to get ready to go to school. So she spoke about them having things much easier. Things were kind of tough and very hard. And in terms of, I think, the schooling,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of that too, she was saying school back then was rough and the teacher would beat them for not knowing their work. It's easier now because we know that it doesn't really work anymore like that. No matter where you are. Corporal punishment is certainly um
I know, no, no.
yeah. So yeah, we spoke about that.
Okay.
Mhm.
And just listening to you talking about her, something just come into my mind. I remember she was able to do quite a bit,
Mhm.
seeing and reading and all of that,
Yeah,
even at her
absolutely.
age,
Hmm.
without aid.
Yeah, right. She was able to read her daily bread, the observer, the gleaner, anything you gave to her. I remember the last Mother's Day that we spent with her. We gifted her with I think it was a card and something else, and she sat there. I think on the flyer that you see there, you see my sister Sharon and myself with her. She was reading, and um, and she was 117, no
Mhm.
glasses, and she was able to read every word, and she wasn't stuttering or counting her words. So she was very good at that, reading without aid. She also ate without dentures, and she could eat sugar cane and all of that without, any problems. So I just think that she was blessed, and
Mhm.
um, whatever the Lord has blessed you with, then that is just yours. Bless her with long life, and for
Mhm.
her to have her mental acuity and her faculties in place right up until her passing. That to me is a blessing. And so it doesn't matter what any scientist or anybody is searching for to see what could have caused maybe her living so long or whatever. What the Lord has blessed you with, that is your blessing. And
Amen.
that's how I look at
That is so true. It is so true that when the Lord and she herself
it. Mm-hmm.
used to talk about that this long life is a blessing. It's nothing that she did
Mm-hmm.
that caused her to be living long, other than really loving and taking care of herself and loving others.
Yeah.
So, to the time of her passing, what was her health challenges?
Well, the only thing that Aunt V had challenges with was hearing loss, as far as I know.
Mhm.
You had to speak a little louder for her, and at the age 117, we would expect that some things would deteriorate. So, as
Yes.
far as I know, she never had any cholesterol problems, she never had any hypertension, um, any of those problems. I never heard her talk about arthritis. I
I like.
remember when she was in her 70s. I don't know what it is that she had, but I know that she was ill. We used to go by and visit her and help her to do little stuff. And I think that was the time that she said she learned she studied the creation poem. It was a very long poem. And when we went by and asked her if she could recite for us, she said, "Oh, it's too long. I will recite a few verses for you, but I
Mhm.
won't do the entire." But if challenged, she would do the entire thing. But yes, I haven't heard of anything. I didn't really see anything else. She was always as fit as a fiddle, as far as I know. And to me, that seemed to have run through the family. Because my father, from I was a little girl, I've never seen my father go to the hospital until he was way up in his mm, high 80s,
Mhm.
thereabouts, when he went. So, yeah, I don't know if her to have had any other challenges like
And I specifically asked that question. You know why I ask it?
that.
A lot of us have this policy in our headspace that when you get to a certain age, you're supposed to have certain illnesses because age causes it.
Really.
And it's something I want to say to people. There's no designed illness that comes at ages.
Okay.
It's lifestyle and how you take care of yourself and gift of God
Right.
that
Right.
determine how you carry through your days. And
That's
so
it.
therefore, whatever illness you might be facing and challenge you're facing is not a must because you're at this age, you must have it. Or
Precisely.
because you're born in the country, it's a normal for you to have these aches and pains and diseases. It's not a must. It
Right.
is just you now taking charge of how you live.
Mhm.
And I remember once talking with Anvi, and while some other persons were talking with Anvi, And I remember something that came out that it says when you have, like you have a clean heart, you just love people,
Yeah.
and keep anger up in yourself.
Mhm.
You're not constipate with all of these health issues.
Mhm.
And that is one of the things to say, because she was a pleasant person.
Right. Mhm.
And it goes to say that sometimes, as I normally say to sometimes I say to some of my clients, if you just let go of the stress that you feel and the anger that you have towards others, and learn to just get to a stage where you let bygones be bygones, so the aches and pains you have and illnesses will naturally reverse themselves.
Mhm.
And Aunt life is kind of an example. And as you said, it doesn't matter how many tests they might do on her, or how many tests they might run, and how many scientists might come in. It just boils down to how you live and how you take care of yourself
Exactly.
and the gift of God.
Right. Right. I
And
mean,
her gift was not only long life. If you look at it, it was not only long life,
right.
but it was quality
Mhm.
life.
Yes. Yes.
Quality life. That in her hundreds, she could be sharing information. She was not lying down somewhere and just being. She
Exactly.
was living. She
Mhm.
was sharing. She was talking with persons. She was accepting guests. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
was
It was.
accepting guests. Come on. So she
Mhm.
was busy living, and so she continued her journey to the end, living.
Mhm.
And that is one of the beauty of it and stuff.
Right.
So I'm gonna give you a chance now to tell us about where we can get the book, how we can get the book, the cost of the book, and all of that. So share that with us now.
Okay. So the books can be had locally. Locally, Sangsters has decided to take some of the books.
Beautiful.
I I don't think the books have reached yet, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
small number. It's not a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
persons can also go into any bookstore because I had a customer in Jamaica who recently did it. So it can be done. You can go to any bookstore
Mm-hmm.
and give the attendant or the store clerk the title of the book, which is Conversations with Supercentenarian Violet Moss Brown and author Valomia Mossware,
Mm-hmm.
and let them know that it is published by WTL International
Mm-hmm.
and distributed by Ingram Books, INGRAM Books,
Mm-hmm.
and they will order it for you, less shipping costs.
Okay.
And right, they will order it for you. I don't know. I was told that they had asked for a down payment. I don't know if they
Yeah.
probably sourced to see how much it would cost and then um, take it from there. But it can be done locally. Anybody who wants the book can go into any bookstore locally and author and title
Mm-hmm.
distributed by Ingram Books, published by WTL International, and you can get that. Apart from that, the books can be found on Amazon.com
Mm-hmm.
and Amazon.ca, which is, I think, for Canada side, Amazon.ca, Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble
Mm-hmm.
for those stateside, as well as WTL International. Those are the different places where you can access the book. And the cost is it's 18 US.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's 18 US. And I'm not sure how much that translates into Jamaican dollars.
Okay. That sounds pretty reasonable.
Right. So
So
that's
18, as 18 US is looking at 2,000 something, almost three, so the
roughly, yeah,
3,000 bracket thereabouts.
roughly.
So that's not a bad costing for you to be able to get the book. Remind persons of the name of the book again.
It's Conversations with Super Centenarian Violet Moss Brown.
Beautiful. So you heard it here on Healing Moments. Miss Moss telling us about how we can get the book. And I believe it's a good book to have in your library because it tells about our local persons. Miss Moss, and I'm putting on the hat now of my portfolio as Library Advocacy Committee chair for the Trelawney Library Network. And I'm asking you now, have you thought of donating any of the books to the library here locally
Well,
in
I've
Trelawney?
spoken to the well, National Libraries of Jamaica. I am planning to do a handover there. So,
Beautiful.
right. So that's what I'll do when the time comes and when I'm able to do that.
Yes, and let them know you want a copy to be in the Trelawney Library, not
Okay.
only in Kingston.
All right. I certainly will do that. I certainly
Yes.
will do that.
Because it's Trelawney's story, I
Yeah.
know she belonged. I know she eventually became owned by the world because she became the oldest woman, and I know Jamaica owns her. But it's a little woman in a Trelawney as well,
Yes.
and so it is beautiful that we would should have, you know, the book in our library as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I am glad that you have thought of it, and as I have to wear my different hats when I come on, and I'm seeing it's a very good opportunity to put a plug in as the library advocacy chair
Yeah.
that you yourself and other persons, when you do your books, you can give locally that others can get a chance to read who may not be in a position to purchase. But
Okay.
I'm also going to be saying to persons who are listening on, get a copy for yourself and get a copy for a young person as well,
Right.
because that is how we share our
Uh-huh.
history. That is how we keep ourselves going. That is how we know who we are, whose we are, and where we they come from, because
Exactly.
that is very important.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to learn here, and I want us to learn the lessons. So get your copy of the book. $18 is really a good price, around 3,000 something thereabouts. It maybe less, it's less than $3,000, because I know $20 is 3,000 something. So that's why I have a ballpark park idea in my headspace of how much it could be. If anybody wants to check it out and tell me exactly, you are free to put it on Facebook and send us the information. We're not afraid for people help we out and give us information on healing moments. But so Miss Moss, I'm gonna give you a chance to, give your closing thoughts, what anything you want to say about, the other conversations you might have, anything you want to share, and any encouragement you want to give to others as go through and encourage others. Speak to us in Jamaica here, and remember, you are being listened internationally all over the world. So speaking to the hearts of people that they can understand a little of Aunt V ism.
Oh, all right. So, what I will do is to first of all leave a little synopsis of the book again,
Mhm.
and it gives a captivating account of historical events, as seen from the perspective of Violet Moss Brown, who lived to the ripe age of 117 years, as she reminisced on her life, and it features the experiences of her. I call her a legend, and it in some parts of it is hilarious, but it's relatable, it's wholesome, and it just speaks about her uncomplicated life in rural Trelawney, and where she lived from 1900 to 2017. And the memories shared by Angie, this will thrill readers of all ages. So anybody, it doesn't matter, for all ages. Um, some lessons from the book that I took away, and it can be for anybody else. Um, it's hard work. She juggled so many jobs to make a living, and you know, the next one was, as I spoke about, was hospitality, her healthy eating habits, because um, she was a healthy eater, and her culinary skills, for me, I take that away from her, was amazing. It was amazing to see how Andy would put just ground provisions in plain water with a little piece of pork skin on the top of it, and cook the food. It would look so clean and pretty and very tasty. And as I said, the pork skin was like a little watchman on top, as we would call it back in the day, but it was very tasty, and I really loved her cooking. Her attention to detail, and you will see that in the book explained when she spoke about preparing a suckling. Very detailed explanation of how to prepare the suckling at Christmas time, especially, and August. And her devotion to duty, and just the magnificence of life and grace and fortitude and humor. So for me, just live life to the fullest, and a little humor, laughter is good medicine for the soul, and that is good too. Your faith in God is another thing. And I have been listening to Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, and maybe many of you can listen to this one afterwards. I don't know if Dr. Asha wants to play it, but it's my favorite these days. Psalm 34. And let me tell you, they performed that one live, and it has been a blessing. I use that as my go-to, and every morning that I get up, if I don't listen to that one, it's like my day is not worth anything. So just live life, love each other, laugh, and be kind to yourself and be kind to others. What more can I say?
Awesome. So we're going to play Psalm 34 now
Mhm.
before you go.
Oh yes, I would love that. I would really, really love that. That would be exciting.
Yes.
I sought the Lord, and He answered me and delivered me from every fear. Those who look on Him are radiant. They'll never be ashamed. They'll never be ashamed. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard me and saved me from my enemies. The Son of God surrounds His saints. He will deliver them. He will deliver them. Magnify the Lord with me. Come exalt His name together. Glorify the Lord with me. Come exalt His name forever. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, blessed is he, yeah, who hides in Him. Oh, fear the Lord. Oh, all you saints, He'll give you everything. He'll give you everything. Magnify the name of Jesus. Come exalt His name. Exalt His name. Today, glorify. We give you glory, Lord. Oh, exalt His name.
Awesome, 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 awesome. I love this song as well.
Yeah.
And the studio loves it as well. Let's see how quick we
Mm.
find it. Yes. And that's one thing with Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. We have our finger on the pulse of music,
Mhm.
and we are no joke with gospel around here. So you can get it if you want it. And we
That's
have
right.
proven it this evening. By the time she finished speaking, Psalm 34 was on the turntable.
Hey,
So,
I
Miss
love
Mom,
it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It was good talking with you this
Thank
evening.
you.
I am quite sure we will talk again as we transverse and we go into 2022.
Yes.
I'm wishing you all the best as you transition over. I
Thank
am hoping for you for big sales with the books. I'm looking forward to us having it in our library here. And I'm looking for the blessings that we will get from remembering as we move forward. Thank you for taking the time out to capture the history and to put it down that the next generation can have it to as we transition through. And as you say, as we say goodbye for this evening, on this conversation piece with you. We want to wish you all the best as you transition. And you are given now the floor to say your final words.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All the best for the season. I wish you all is wonderful. Um, and as you said, as we transition into 2022, we just pray for the best, for magnificent outcomes. There's a song that my mother used to love to sing, especially at watch night service, about a new year is dawning, dear master, let it be. We don't know what will be ahead of us, but we have him with us so we can go through anything. So all the best. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you very much for the promotion of the book and all the blessings. So bless you too, and thank you once again.
Thank you,
Thanks
my dear.
everybody. Yes,
Stay blessed. Walk good as we surround here.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, blessed is he, yeah, who hides in him. Oh, fear the Lord. Oh, all you
Yes, yes, yes. So that was my guest, Miss Viola Mossware. And it was good having her here with us on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7. Conversation with Miss Violet Moss Brown. Our centurion, she was once the oldest woman in the world and at 117. And she was from right here in Trelawney, and for us, it's an honor to have had her walk among us. And for her at that age, she remembers so much. She could read, she speaks well, and she was a happy person. And so, therefore, I wish the same thing for all of us, because long life with good life is really awesome, And so, I wish that for all of us, it was good to have Miss Moss here with us. So this evening we transition into our inspirational moment before we close off with a season of music. And before I go into my inspirational moment, I want to say to you, next week we'll be doing a repeat program again because it's right on the cusp of the holidays. So I will be staying off the roads. And I want my producer to stay off the road as well. And so we want to stay safe and transition over with you into 2022. So from now, I'm telling you, I'm expecting you to have a good, good, good new year. And we will come together right after the new year and we will talk again. And we have some interesting programs lined up for you on healing moments going forward. So don't you forget it. For the inspirational moment I want to do with you this evening, I had something perfectly different prepared. And then I had an experience happening in my community this morning, and I decided to change. Since it's going to last time I'm going to speak with you for this year, I decided to change to that experience. So the inspirational moment this evening is colored by a street war I saw in my community this morning among women. And so we had women who were once friends telling each other their one another dirty stories and they were carrying on. But I watch the changing of the dynamics as the story continue. The different age groups getting caught up into this drama that was playing out on the street, and the young people and the things that were talking about each other. And I'm saying to us, let's change our story. Let's change the way we operate going into the new year. Young people, get your life sorted out. Get meaningful help that can help you to transition. And one of the things I want us to learn to understand, and every knock pan you have to answer to. So when them play them drum and knock them pan, because I remember when I said to one of the young ladies, I was saying to a young lady, you notice if anybody trouble in the community, I don't answer. You know what she said? Because you're bossy and you're full of yourself. So when people trouble, you don't answer. So I said to her, what if you decide to be bossy too? What if you decide not to answer when people do your things? Because the way you feel when you trouble myself or my daughter or anybody in my home and we don't respond, you don't feel good about the fact that we're not saying anything. What if you do the same thing to the people who try to trouble you? Then you will get your power. You will own your power. So, what if, as you transition into the 2022, you make a decision to hold your power, to claim your name to fame, and everything people say you no answer to? I always say I like to keep my last word for myself. You can't let people know everything you think. And one of the things I have found out in this life, if people like to trouble you and you like to answer, they know where your weakness lies. So, ladies, I'm talking to you directly this evening. I want the men to listen and I want the men to do well. But you see, mothers, we are the cradle rockers. We are the main cradle rockers of our society. And if we want to see that change happening, and we want to see the change now, and we want 2022 to be better wherever you are in the world, and right here in Jamaica, right here in my community in Clarkstown, right on the street that I live, we must decide that we are going to be different in how we operate. I remember the young lady was saying she wanted to fight so much. She wanted to grab that girl, but thank God for good friends, good community citizens, the lady, senior ladies like myself and the other senior lady that came out on the street, the gentleman, I will not call people's name, I don't have their permission to call their names, but that gentleman who came out to his gate and called her and said, come to me, come into Maya, come, let's talk. That sister who stood in between, and that young lady wanted to fight. You know why she wanted to fight? Her statement was, you trouble me, me can't manage that. But you know, got thrown upon me, picnic them and trouble me, picnic them. And so she felt that she needed to give this other young girl a lesson in not, I was saying to her, hold your power. Not fighting her will not make your children any less. But fighting her may mean you spend Christmas and New Year in lockup. Because if you start the fight and you injure this lady and police lock you up, may not take no quarter card before January. So unless she her word good enough and she have people to credit for her to get station bail, she might end up spending the entire holiday in lockup. And I'm saying to you, wherever you are today, hearing my voice, don't get yourself in any trouble for going into the holidays and going to the new year. Wherever you are, whatever you're going to be angry about, remember to be angry is a choice. Do not choose it, right? So her pain was real. And she felt that the only way she could get the world to understand the pain she was feeling is if she could fight, physical fight with this woman. I'm saying to us, keep your focus. Learn to hear and not hear. Learn to shut out the negativity. And that's one of the things we are not very good at. We open ourselves and we embrace negativity into our lives. Listen to me. The invitation to fight is not one you have to accept, right? Unless the invitation to fight that you're going to accept is to stand up for your own self. You're going to fight for your own integrity. And this kind of fight you don't need to do physically. This kind of fight you can do in your house behind locked doors. And when you feel like you can't manage the emotions, go down on your knees and cry out to God. He hears every time, he answers all the time. If you're open to hear and you're open to listen. So I'm encouraging you this evening, own your power, walk away. Walking away and smiling make the enemy angry. So if you want anger to be played out, own your strength by walking away and let the enemy feel foolish. Staying and fighting is kind of really losing. You're losing. The minute someone is able to get under your skin and get you to react in a negative way, they have won the battle on you. So if you want to continue owning your power, claiming your grace, when you are invited to a fight, don't accept the invitation. At that moment, take a stand, fight for yourself, for your right to be strong, and do that. But a senior lady who got caught up into the whole war and conversation, she made me laugh for a moment. But then I want to say what she said kind of makes some sense. Because, they were telling her, she should go along with her business because she ugly. And, she was saying to the young persons, a young man who got caught up in the whole conversation, and the young ladies that, guess what? Uno just come, uno young. And the only thing uno can tell me about myself after I've lived so much longer than you is that I'm ugly. But let me tell you something. Me ugly. I don't keep on a talk about me ugly. You don't know what that mean? Me still in the game. Because if me never in the game, what would not talk about me? Me still have another hand to play. And she say, all you can say about me is my ugliness, and my ugliness keeping me going. But guess what? Nobody not talk about uno, because uno young, but uno done. Now you don't want people to hurt you with their words. Do not hurt them with yours. Because they have a little, so when we were kids, I remember at school, we would be in this person's having a little war, and we'd put stones in our hand middle. And I don't remember the exact words, it was something like hot fire or something like that. And we want the baddest one to box it out, and then you box it and it hit the other person, and the war would start, and they would start to fight. Let's not do that anymore. If as a mother, you are hurt when people talk evil of your kids or talk evil over your kids, you want to bless your kids? Don't let your kids see you brawling in the streets. Don't set that kind of example for them. Gather your hen, the chicks together, mother hen, and pray over them. Going forward into the new year, let's start speaking positivity over our families. Let's start speaking peace and love over our children. Let us break the generational curse of harm and hate and pain by starting to do the right thing right now. You're not going to wait until January morning, as some of us like to say. I know a lot of people like to go to watch night, and I'm not knocking anybody's belief, but I always wonder what them go look for. I remember once when we were in the country in Lucy, living in Johnsontown. One of my mom's best friend was Miss Tiny. And so Miss Tiny asked mommy for us to go to watch night with her. And mommy said no, because it's not her belief. But then we said, mommy, please let us go, because we wanted to know what watch night was all about. We're kids and we wanted to see what watch night was all about. And then it is a big thing now to say you were awake January morning. And so we all went to watch night with Miss Tiny. But when them start to say yes, no, the New York, we never really, feel no different. And I heard some person say, feel the breeze, or I feel different. They say, me never feel anything. And then I know based on our belief now, so they were saying the New Year start at midnight, and they were saying they feel a new breeze when we believe that the year has started from sunset. That's what we believe. Because sunset to sunset makes a day. That's what the Bible says. But either if it is midnight or sunset, It's just another day at the end of it all. Don't wait. Right now, right where you are, make a decision that you are not going to accept invitations to negativity. You're not going to open the door to negativity into your life. Lock the door. And anybody in your life that is causing this kind of negativity, get help to get rid of that kind of negativity in your life and in your family. When you have cancer, your first decision is to cut it out and to get rid of it. Negativity and anger is like cancer eating at your emotional soul. Don't want that to be happening to you into 2022. So let's get real, guys. Let's cut out the street war. Let's stop killing our brothers and our neighbors. I keep on remembering when this young man came from Israel and he was with us here in Trelawney. And I said to him, he was doing his thesis, and I said to him, we can arrange for you to go to Kingston. And he said, no, 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 I don't want to go to Kingston. It was his first time in Jamaica. But he was talking about all the violence he heard of. And I'm saying to him, you can't come to Jamaica and talk about how we're killing people here. In Israel and Pakistan, you're going to kill hundreds of people in a given day. And he said something quite interesting. He said, we are having a holy war. And Israeli might kill Pakistani, and Pakistani kill Israeli. It's because we're having a holy war. In Jamaica, we hear on the news that brother will kill brother for dumpling. That's not good. It's not the entire story of who we are. But then we don't want that story to be happening anymore either. Let's start loving a little bit more. Seek help for conflict resolution when we have them and we don't know how to handle it. Get help. Help is available. Call us at the Neighborhood Watch. Call the police. Call the other social platforms that are set up to help you to deal with your challenges. Don't fight it out. Don't war it out. And don't set that negative example for your children. So, from Healing Moments, we are saying to you this evening, you want to change the outcome, you have to change the input. You want to change the story ending, you have to change what you're writing. You want to change the drama, you have to put different scripts in place for you to act to. And remember, little children are like little monkeys. Monkey see, monkey do. When we were kids, I remember mommy always saying that, to grandmother always saying that. Monkey see, monkey do. Let us set good examples for our young people as we transition into the new year. Young people, you might have been seeing the negativity and you might have been embracing it. You don't have to act on every script that you're handed. A matter of fact, you can decide today to write your own script. Claim your leading position in your life, or else you're going to become supporting actor in somebody else's own. So I say to you today, walk good, stay blessed, move over into 2022 with a positive attitude. Wake up tomorrow morning with a decision to be different. I love you. I am Dr. Asha Mwendo, and I'm talking to you from my Healing Moments platform on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. See you in 2022. Love you. Walk good.
Thank you for listening to Healing Moments with Dr. Asha Mwendo. Join us in 2022 for another program in the series. This is Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
This is Fit FM.
Fit FM 96.7.
96.7.
Duncan's Trelawney.
Duncan's Trelawney. This is Fit FM. 96.7. Duncan's Trelawney.
goodbye.